Hey guys, Spider Device here with project update number 2. As you can see, I have the web shooter newly mounted with the new nylon strap. I had to remake that, and a new buckling strap. Everything's pretty much the same, other than that. The updates on the web shooter, I'm going to actually make a trigger cover. As you can see here, the trigger is fairly small, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little platform and put it on a little slab of metal and then cover up the wires so that I can actually hit this with 2 fingers instead of having to hit it with 1. So that really is most of what I want to talk about, just about the web shooter. Also next video, which will be project update 3, I'll have a spinneret, which will basically be one central hole surrounded by 4 or 5 or 6 smaller holes to increase pressure, increase force of the web and distance, and also try to form it into a line. Really, I'm not trying to form a line here, I'm just trying to form an actual spray, but if a line forms, I'm fine with that. Anyway, that's really it for the actual web shooter, other than I'll probably do some extrusion tests with the new denatured alcohol solvent, considering the acetone kind of dissolved this and this before my last video. So I'm going to take off this web shooter while I talk a little bit about the formula. So the new formula has cellulose sulfate in it. Now what's the difference between cellulose sulfate and cellulose acetate? Well, cellulose sulfate is an inorganic ester, meaning it doesn't have, it's not really a carbon compound. It's, well, cellulose is an organic compound, but it's actually an ester that forms, which can be done by esterification by taking the reagents, sulfuric acid, whether it be dilute or concentrated, and ethanol, also known as denatured alcohol, and you mix it with the cellulose, leave it there for a while, and this is what you get after you filter it. Now it's kind of a powdery stuff. It doesn't look that different from the cellulose powder, especially when it's wet. But this is actually, it has kind of a yellowish tint. It's a little bit darker. So that's how you can tell that it's actually cellulose sulfate. But even if it wasn't, I would still use it, because if I couldn't form cellulose sulfate, I'm just going to use the cellulose anyway. But this is the chaining agent in my formula. I was originally going to have it be 50% of the formula, but considering this doesn't yield a lot, especially with the small amount of cellulose that I have here, I only have 250 grams, which I'm not sure about the molar amount of that, but it's not a huge amount. But anyway, this is a cellulose sulfate on the filter paper, which means now that I've formed this, next video I'll hopefully have a spinneret and I'll have the trigger done. So in my next video, look forward to it, because I will actually be shooting a web. Yes, it's crazy, I will actually be shooting a web. Like, I will actually take the formula, put it in, and maybe I'll show some footage of me actually mixing up the formula and getting it to the ratio that I want of all the ingredients. But yeah, next video I'll actually be extruding this formula, shooting it out. Once again, I'm going for kind of a spray of web, but if a line forms, I'm fine with that too. I just think that a spray would be a little bit more practical. So after this video I'm gonna actually, that was the end of the real formula stuff that I wanted to talk about. But after this video I'm going to finish the mask and actually get these lenses mounted so that, I can actually have the mask to probably wear in some of my later videos, because I'm actually going to have to set up a camera, walk over, and actually be shooting the web off camera, or at least from not behind the camera. But yeah, I'll be wearing this just to keep it for the theme and to kind of show off what it would look like in the film. And speaking of the film, I wrote a new synopsis It's completely different from the last script. It's way better. Except it keeps the main villain and the main way that he becomes Spider-Man. That's really all that's the same. So, there's one major twist, though, that I haven't really seen done on any film, fan film or major motion picture. Spider-Man 3 sort of did it, but I don't think it really did exactly what I'm going to do. But, yeah, that's, once again, in this video, please comment below if you want a science-based or comic-based film. But also another question for you guys. Do you guys want me to read the original script, but, you know, I'll probably omit the name of the villain? Because it wouldn't really matter either way, because I just say, you know, the villain attacks or something. But do you guys want me to read or, you know, scan in the notebook that has the original script? I'm not sure if you could read my handwriting, but yeah, I'll probably just read out the original script because it's not good. It's really not that great in terms of character development, but I think the story is sound. It's just, you know, the character Peter Parker is not that great. But next, let's talk a little bit about next video. Next video, I will be shooting the web with the new formula, and if I actually get the time to go outside and have a sunny day, because we've been having a little bit of sun lately, and I actually want to get all the props for this scene so I can release a sneak peek of the film. It wouldn't be that long, it would just be, you know, probably 2 minutes at most, and then I would just try to, you know, give you an essence of what the feeling of the film is going to be like, give you kind of, you know, maybe a little bit of the costume, show the spider symbol that I've just made, which I don't have out here right now, but I will, you know, probably show that next video in Project Update 3. So, the summary for Project Update 3, new formula and real web extrusion, and sneak peek of the film. It's going to be a fairly large video, and I didn't want to make this one that long just because my last one kind of went over 10 minutes and I didn't really like that. So look forward to next video, and comment below if you want a science-based or comic-based film. But I've pretty much decided that it's going to be a science-based film, but still, give me your input. And also tell me if you want the original script read. That's really it for today in this Project Update video 2. And that's really it. Spider Device out.